Hello and welcome to the FPS Review's video companion to our write-up on Gigabyte's AI expedition from Computex 2024 that featured humanity by art by technology. We're going to take a more detailed look at two of the different pieces of AI art as well as a couple of the demonstrations using AI that we saw that were quite interesting to us. The first art that we're going to look at is Ecological Pool, created by Dimension Plus, a new media art collective based in Taiwan and Hong Kong. The Ecological Pool utilizes AI to generate creatures, as you see here, based upon the data that it has in its AI image knowledge base within itself. Once the creature is created, then it will pass it over to the other machine in order for the creature to live out its life in a simulated reality using AI. As you can see, the creature will start growing. It's kind of a long process, and it can take over the course of days. The creatures will evolve, go back to the generation machine, and then come back to this tank in order to live out life once again. Over the course of the exhibition, there are a lot of changes that happened to the models. Coming up next is Chaotic Grammar Beta by Tim Wei. This exhibition is interactive and requires a user to go up to a keyboard and enter some form of animal or add some colors or creative or really just give kind of a phrase of information into the system, and then it will generate the animal based upon AI and put on a show. So for this particular case, the user that came up input the word dragon, and then the system kind of got to work. Once the processing is complete, the system puts on a show using the word and the objects that were generated to the users. We're going to take a look because it includes audio. Let's cut over to the show audio and see what happens with the dragon. Moving on to a more interactive AI art exhibit, we have the Versus AI Street Fighting Arcade. In this exhibit, you can basically play either on your own against AI or against another player. Now, even if you play against another player, AI is going to still be involved. How it works is the system generates a prompt that the players are supposed to design an image that best represents it. In this particular case, we have happiness versus misfortune. So you're supposed to develop an image using AI prompts that best represents happiness versus misfortune. At this point, this human player is playing against AI, and she's entered in a few prompts, and she's waiting on AI to generate a set of images for her to select from and iterate on in order to try to defeat the AI player. I found that this initial image generation took a bit, but once the initial images were set and you could start selecting which ones you wanted to work with. In this case, she selected this happy face that kind of looks a little bit, I don't know, deconstructed, and was going to look at working on iterating with that. Looks like the first attempt that she's going to try to do is kind of cut the screen in half, and I think from the prompts that she was putting in, she was going for making a frowny face on the other half to kind of have like the yin and yang in the whole circle. The players have a total of about 90 seconds to generate their initial image and then kind of work from it, make modifications, and ultimately choose what image they want to enter for the judging at the end of the time. So here we go to the selection sort of screen. You can kind of scroll back through all the different versions that you've made. You can pick which ones you want to select, or if you want to modify more or enter some different prompts to try to get some different images. It looks like overall the artist didn't really like the different variations, and so I think she's ultimately going to pick one that looks a lot like that first one that was generated. So as you see her scrolling through, and then she's going to pick one to pin, and then we're going to cut over to judging to kind of see who wins. So here we go with the judging. We see we have our disheveled smiley face, and then AI came up with a huge long prompt that has some kids running in a field with a rainbow that's kind of doomed. And the AI used so many words to kind of create this image prompt, whereas our player used sad version 6. And ultimately, the player takes the win and AI takes the L. Moving on to the AI in real life portion of the event, we have this demonstration using ComfiUI and Stable Diffusion that's taking images from a webcam, an AI prompt, a photo of Jensen, of course, because, it's RTX AI, and essentially generating also Superman in the prompt, and generating essentially me holding my camera, staring at this, complete with the strap, my bag strap, and Computex badge. Is generating this cartoon image of me as we go. Of course, I look like Superman, which is better. If you look really close in that top right-hand corner, you'll see the webcam image that it's being generated from. Pretty neat. Moving on to the last thing that we're going to take a look at, we see once again Stable UI paired with Stable Diffusion, but this time we're kind of in like an artist rendering sort of studio. As you can see, we're kind of starting off with kind of like a superhero forming a fireball type of vision that I believe was AI generated, but we're going to make some modifications to it. So you can see the artist here is putting red dots around the picture, kind of in various places, just kind of really smudging. It's like almost like creating a mask of where you want the AI in order to make its changes. So she's going to keep filling in the dots kind of as you see around the background behind the character, and these are going to be replaced by AI things, but then also the fireball is going to get adjusted as well. All right, so now it's go time to kind of see what all this masking has actually done to the image. If you take a look at the right-hand side, you can see, well, whoa, it just changed to a completely different character with some red lanterns replacing all of the red dots. Now here we generated again, you have a different character with red lanterns once again. And then we're kind of back to, essentially kind of cycling through the different versions that AI has been generating here. Now, let's say red lanterns aren't really your thing. Maybe you like cherries better than red lanterns. All you have to do is change the prompt and have AI generate cherries instead of red lanterns within the picture. The goal of this type of AI augmentation is to kind of accelerate the creative process for digital artists. To wrap it all up, we saw Gigabyte's AI New Era Humanity by Art by Technology exhibition, which was obviously powered on lots of Gigabyte hardware, ranging from desktop GPUs from the RTX 4090 on down to the RTX 4070, as well as laptops. While we may be getting tired of hearing about AI at Computex this year, this is certainly an interesting exhibition to kind of look through to see what the future might look like in AI. Is it actually going to come to pass and become a thing? Well, who knows? But at least we see what folks are trying now.